What's up, Young Nation and newcomers? My name is Brady Young. Before I get started, before I talk about what the title says, because I mean you already know where we're going to go, but you don't know what's going to be in the ride. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you get notified when I put out a video, and don't forget to give this video a like and comment down below. But without further ado, we're going to talk today about my crazy faith, my story, part 1. I'm gonna put that finger down because then it's part. Where this all started was actually quite a few years ago, like 5 years ago, when I graduated from high school. And this was a very bumpy road. So bumpy. Like, there was just so many things going up and down that I look back on, I'm like, wow. I had crazy faith in believing and moving and doing all these things, and I thank God that everything actually worked out for the better, because really without him in this, I think I'd be in a very, very bad spot. But after I graduated from high school in 2015, few days after graduation, I didn't even take the time to breathe. I up and moved to Ontario to go to college. Now that was scary because I am moving to a place where I only know 2 people. My sister and my brother-in-law. And I lived with them and I knew no one. And it was bad because I was emotionally wrecked and sad and depressed because I had no friends around. I didn't know anyone but 2 people. And all my friends were back here in Regina. And so I'm out there waiting and counting down the days until college starts, and I'm just like, I don't want to be doing this without all my friends. I don't know anyone. I'm gonna just be such a loner going through classes, and it's like, But when I go and I start registering for everything, because I'd already registered before, but I'm checking in and making sure I get my school ID and whatever. I'm just walking through, and there's just this board of all these different clubs going on. One of them was anime, and I was just like, oh, I'm intrigued, because weeb. Another one was the Christian club that stuck out to me, and it's like, oh, I'll actually have a firm base and foundation here. So good. So good. It didn't start though until school started. So I didn't even have a church. I was pretty much watching messages while I was at home. Wasn't really going to church, so that really put me down, and I was actually going from church to church trying to find a good place. None of them really felt right to me. It's like when you actually find a good church, when you find a home church, it's like, oh, that's nice, that's warm, that's comfortable. Sometimes comfort isn't good, but in this case, I needed a place where I felt comfortable and I couldn't find it. But school started. Getting into classes, not really talking to anyone, but as the days progressed, I started finding a small group of friends. Christian club started. Everyone's from different programs, talking to them, introducing ourselves, telling a bit about ourselves. It gets to a point, where we do testimonials, we're talking about ourselves, the good and the bad, and fast forwarding through the days. I'm like, God, I believe I'm supposed to be out here for a reason, so I'm going to trust in you that this is going to be what I'm supposed to do, because when I went out there, it was from the mindset of, I want to make video games. I was making a game script since grade 9 of, ooh, this would be such a cool idea, this would be such a cool story, this would be, ooh, I feel like people would love this kind of game. I was writing up so many different things. Little did I realize I actually picked the wrong program to enter in. There was actually a program for making video games, and I picked computer stuff, and it was like, this is fine. Fire, just imagine fire all around me. It's like, this is fine. But when it came to my classes, I was doing okay. The one I was really excelling at was my communications class. Communications is essentially writing. I feel like I was a star student in that, because I was getting like hundreds on all of my assignments and all of my tests and exams and essays, and it was like, ooh, kind of argued about with the teacher when I got a spelling mistake, and it was like, I'm not happy about this. I'm not getting 100, but I want that 100. Fast forwarding through all of that, we go through midterms, we get through the finals. I'm dreading the marks because we actually took some of the finals, and one of the finals, Even my friends who were excelling in classes, after one of the finals, looked at me and said, I don't remember being taught that in class. When your smart friend, who is just soaring through, looks at you afterwards, after a final that you were having trouble with, and tells you, I don't remember that, I don't remember being taught that, and they don't know, you know you sucked on that final. I'm admitting right now that some of these classes I was doing okay in because I did bare minimum to get to the point where I was passing. And I hated it. But you know, it comes time for a Christmas break. And I'm all excited because I'm coming back to Regina, something no one really says all that much. I'm just kidding, but I love Regina because, you know, it's my home. Blood, sweat, and tears are in this place. My friends and family are in this place. I was thrilled to be coming home. As soon as I get home, see my mom, give her a big hug. She starts getting emotional. I start getting emotional. I then go in that same night, go and hang out with some friends. Hugs are getting exchanged. It's like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in like 6 to 7, 8 months. Oh my gosh, like, hi. The funny part was I had been like working out at the college gym, and I looked a little bit more built, and so some of my friends were like, this is not the Brady we knew when he left. But that's not important to the story. While I was here on Christmas break, we were all just hanging out together, family and friends, non-stop. I was just hanging out, going out with them all the time, and it was just all reminding me back of being in high school, of just hanging out and seeing everyone. It was like, oh, brought back such awesome and lovely memories. And Christmas break was starting to come to an end. And I can't explain it. But part of me felt like I had to be in Ontario because it was a responsibility. It no longer felt like I was supposed to be out there, but it felt like I was responsible because, you know what, I put money into this, I signed up for this, I already paid for the second semester, but I felt this tug that I cannot explain to not go back. I felt this tug to stay in Ontario, to stay in Regina, I'm sorry. And I looked at my mom when I was supposed to, like maybe a day or two before I was supposed to fly back to Ontario. And I looked at her and I said, would you be mad if I just stayed in Regina? Would you be mad if I stayed home? And she was like, really? There was not an ounce of anger or anything, or like, no, you have to go out. Like, no, it was just this questioning, like, really? You don't want to go back? I didn't pursue too much of it. I was just like, I played it off as like, oh yeah, no, I'm just homesick and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, I thought I was homesick. But when I fly back to Ontario, I still had a few more days until classes resumed and I was back on the grind of doing college. But again, I still felt this tug, this pull to come back here. And when it started, when college started back up, I didn't even go to class. I think I went to the college. I sat in my car for a couple minutes. I knew I had my gym clothes with me because I was planning on, okay, after classes start, and then I'm done them, I'm gonna go to the gym. I went right to the gym, and then I went back home. I was pretty much trying to kill time just to make it seem like I was going to class, so my sister wouldn't get worried, until it got to a point where I was no longer caring and I just wasn't going to class. I was still attending the Christian club, but I was just, in my heart and my mind, I was like, what is going on? I don't feel this wanting to go to class, even though I've already paid for the semester. Now I feel like some of y'all who might be students are looking at that going, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? You're not going, you spent so much money. Like, it's true, I did. But when you feel this emptiness towards an activity, towards doing something, you really just don't want to put any effort in. So staying home, not going to school, I would pretty much game. I'd play on my PS4, I'd play with my best friends, I'd play with all of my friends pretty much online. We'd be laughing, talking, and gaming all day, and just talking about, yeah, I'm not at school. Yeah, like, I would love to come back to Regina, but I don't know how. And my best friend Thomas is like, dude, you should move back then if you're not going to school. And it's like, I would love to. And this is where I was still going to the Christian club, and I was talking about the fact that to some people I was no longer really attending classes, and I did not know what to do. And it got to a point where all I could describe was I felt very barren, to the point of feeling so empty and so I don't know what to do, that I would just lay in bed, get up, go to the gym, come home, eat, go back to my room, game, and do nothing, because it was like I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do. And yet everyone back home, people that were my friends in the Christian club and not in the Christian club and my classes, were all telling me, hey, you know what, you need to start going to classes, you need to get some tutors, you know what, you need to push through, you'll love it, it'll be so much better for you in the long run if you just push through. Now, I don't know about you, but when it gets to a point where you no longer want to do something, in your mind you're already like, I don't want to do this anymore, all those people pushing you and pressuring you to keep going makes you feel worse and guilty, to the point I was just like, God, I don't know what to do. Like, I thought I was called to be a video game maker. I thought I was called to make stories for the games and do all this and that. And then, like, God was pretty much telling me, did you even ask, though? Did you actually sit and pray and talk to me if this is what you were supposed to do? And it hit me because it was like, I didn't. Like, I sent to register for classes. I sent an application in. And the college I sent it to approved it and said, you're in. And everyone, my friends, family, teachers were like, take it. And I was hesitant though. When I saw it, I was like, I don't know if I should actually do this. And my best friend, one of my best friends at that time, he's like, dude, you'd be crazy not to do it. So I was like, all right, I clicked it. And then, I don't know why, but I was like, I have to now move. And my main thought is, that kind of decision I really should have brought to God, because later on I found out from people is I was not actually supposed to move. But at that point in time, when everyone's telling you to do something, and I'm just like, God, I don't know what to do. And it got to a point where I'm getting so emotional that one night I ended up calling and talking to my mom on the phone, and I was like, I don't want to be here. I'm getting to the point where I'm in like so in despair, in doubt, that I'm getting physical pain. I'm just like, Mom, I can't do this anymore. I'm starting to cry. She's crying on the phone, and she's like, you know what, we will find a way to get you out here. Because I'm just like, God, I know I'm not supposed to be here anymore. I feel it in my heart that I'm not supposed to be here, but part of me is also like, am I not supposed to, like, am I supposed to just stay here in Ontario? Am I supposed to stay here and go to college and not move back to Regina? And I'm just like, I'm being torn back and forth. Like, it felt like a piece of paper just being ripped, and it was just, I'm being pulled in two different directions, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. My God, I don't know what to do. So my mom actually came out for a visit. There was a scheduled visit. And so when we were deciding that, we decided, okay, when she comes for a visit, when she's going to leave, she's no longer going to fly back. Instead, we're going to pack up my car and we're going to leave. Going out for breakfast and everything for a couple days in a row with my sister, brother-in-law, and my mom, we started talking about the game script I had and talking about maybe making it into a book. And it was like, you know what, that sounded like a good idea. I mean, I've always been good at writing and English classes and everything. I was like, you know what, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe I'll think about doing that. And so at the end of my mom's visit, we packed up my car and we moved back to Regina. Long drive, by the way, but beautiful drive. But long drive. Oh, 14 hours worth of driving one day and then like 12 hours the next. It's fun, but it also sucks. When we moved back to Regina, I'm telling all my friends like, yo, I'm back. I was telling them this prior, but on the day that I got back, I'm like, I'm here. And I just started hanging out with them all again, and I felt so happy. The weight of despair and pain and doubt and barrenness lifted off of me, and I was like, God, I feel so much lighter. Like, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. My best friend tells me at that point, yo, man, let's go to young adults. We're doing prophetic ministry. I was like, oh. I was like, I feel like God was telling me at that point, like, you need to go to this. When we go, the first young adults I'm back, we go to prophetic ministry and we start practicing with one another about just praying over another person and listening and seeing, okay, what does God want to tell this person? And I go from person to person, and then I get to this girl I'd never met before, because, you know, I'd been gone for almost a year. And this girl is praying for me, and she looks at me and she says, I just see this light in this house, and I feel like God is telling me to tell you that you are doing the right thing, that you're on the right path. And at that moment, I felt like crying and breaking down. I felt so overjoyed, because when I put my faith in God to move back to Regina, I was like, this is crazy, because I'm doing something that is so discouraged and so looked down upon in this time and age, that I dropped out of school, and I'm like, I'm not feeling this wanting and this call to go to school. When everyone for the next couple of years was even telling me I should go to the university here in Regina, I'm just like, I don't feel it. So when I put my faith that, you know what, like, God, I feel like I'm supposed to move back to Regina. And then when I came back to Regina, and a person that I had never met before, that I did not even remember her name, and I'm not gonna lie, I still don't remember her name, so I apologize for that. But she looked at me and she confirmed that what I felt, that it was actually right. That it was God telling me, you need to come back. And for someone to confirm the feeling of faith and trust that I put in God, to look at me in the eye and say, you're doing the right thing, made me so happy. From then on, everything just felt so much better. And it felt like my life was taking a turn for the better. So that's my crazy faith story, part 1. And that is, what you can take from this is, before you make huge decisions, pray and talk to God, so you figure out, am I actually supposed to do this, or am I supposed to hold back? Am I supposed to wait? Because maybe you're gonna do something that God's actually going, no, what I've actually got for you, what my actual plan for you is so much better. That's a moving of faith. This is a story that you can take away, that I did not put faith and trust in God when I decided to move out to Ontario. But when I felt like I was no longer supposed to be out in Ontario, I put my faith in God. I was like, okay, I'm going to move back home. I'm going to put my trust in you, God. I'm going to put my faith in you, that what I'm doing right now is what you have called me to do. And when you have that confirmation from someone that looks at you and says, you're doing it, what God has told you, what you are doing, He just wants to tell you, you're doing the right thing. When someone else can confirm that for you, when someone looks at you and tells you what you put your faith in, you're going to see fruit. You're going to see reward. You're going to see blessings. That is just something else entirely. That is my crazy faith story, part 1. I hope you all liked it. Remember, like this video, comment down below, share this with anyone that you know that might need to hear this, and subscribe and hit that bell notification so you get notified when I put out a video. But thank you all so much for watching, Young Nation and newcomers. My name is Brady Young. Until the next video, have a good one, have a good day, have a good week, month, and a year. I'll see you all later.